Decluttering is something many aspire to do, but it can feel dang near impossible when you share your home with a spouse, kids, or extended family. And if this is true for you, then I'm sure at some point you've entertained the thought of giving up on owning less. Not because you wanted to, but because you feel like no matter what you say or do, no one is willing to get rid of anything. Now, before you throw in the white towel, even if this is a last ditch effort, I'd like to offer you some decluttering advice that's packed full of proven tips to help you and your family declutter successfully. So, if that sounds interesting and you're willing to hear me out, then let's dive right in with my first piece of advice. Be the example. Someone in the family has to be the example. So why not you? You see, if you want to encourage your family to get on board and start letting go, then the worst thing you could do is get discouraged and give up on your own personal journey when it feels like all of your efforts are being undermined. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. This is hard to do, but it's not as bad as you think. Allow me to explain. The first thing you have to do is make certain that you're decluttering your personal possessions regularly. Like build a habit out of it, schedule time on your calendar if you have to. Just make sure you're being consistent because when you are, your family will be far more receptive when you talk to them about decluttering their own things. But it doesn't stop there. You also have to adjust your spending habits, the way you think, and your actions day to day outside of decluttering stuff and things. See, leading by example starts with you. It's about letting your family watch the value you add to your life by eliminating clutter and seeking less. And might I add that there's no better way for your family to feel encouraged and inspired to change than seeing that change firsthand in you. Now, before you shoot the messenger, I'm sure you're already thinking, well, Ron, I've already decluttered the bulk of my physical possessions. I'm committed to building a habit out of owning less. I am leading by example, so I'm not really sure what you mean. Well, if this is true, then I'd like to challenge you to reassess the tone you use and the way you talk to your spouse or family about the stuff you think they should declutter. Because sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. Give them the tools they need to declutter. One thing that makes it really hard for couples or families to declutter is not the fact that there's more stuff in the house in comparison to someone who lives alone, but because there likely isn't an assigned place for the stuff to go. For example, maybe you constantly have stuff piling up on your dining table or your kitchen counter or your dresser, or maybe you have kids, so you always have toys in the middle of the floor. Now, if one or all of these situations resonated with you, then here's an easy tool that you can implement to help prevent this type of clutter from creeping all over the house. Catch-all baskets. This is a basket that you put out in high clutter traffic areas. Now, this can be a basket, a box, a bag, a toy chest, it doesn't matter. As long as it's used as the name suggests, a catch-all for you to toss in clutter and hold it until you have the time to take that basket and everything inside and sort through it. Using a tool like this with your family is a surefire way to get them on board with at least cutting back on the visual clutter. From there, you can take strategic steps towards deciding what's worth keeping and what's not. It's also important to empower your family, be it your kids or your spouse, to make the final decision on what's worth keeping and what goes, especially if it's their items. You can do this through conversation and asking questions that may encourage them to let go. Talk and listen to understand. Communication is at the top of the list in terms of must-haves for a successful relationship and family dynamics. Without this, you're guaranteed to struggle regardless if you're seeking a clutter-free home or not. If communication is lacking, then decluttering is the least of your worries. And I'm saying this because I truly want you to have this solid foundation within your relationship and family. It's far more important than stuff and things you need or don't need. Now, beyond that, when you are having conversations about stuff and things and whether or not it's something you should keep or donate, it's really important that you listen to understand, not to respond. If the only thing you care about is sharing your opinion and expressing why you think something should be donated, then you're not being fair to how your family feels. So hear each other out and listen to understand. Because although your opinions may differ, you will need this understanding in order to find a solution that works for everyone. Make decluttering fun. Most people don't find decluttering the slightest bit entertaining, let alone fun. So it can be really hard to get your family on board and motivated and excited to declutter. So you have to find ways to make it fun. For example, turn it into a challenge or a game. Maybe you get really creative and play a game of Jenga and every block is labeled with an item or a category you should consider decluttering. You can also create rewards like treating yourself or your family to something special once you've decluttered a certain number of things or an entire room. Doing this gives everyone something to look forward to, thus creating a sense of motivation and encouragement. Whatever you decide to do, just remember that decluttering is not meant to be a horrible experience for you or your family. Make it fun, make it competitive, and use rewards to motivate and build momentum. Schedule family decluttering events. This reminds me a lot of when my brother and I were kids and my parents would schedule family cleaning days. Maybe it was the garage one weekend or yard work, or we were hosting a holiday party for our extended family and needed to get everything in order. Regardless of what it was, my parents planned ahead and everyone participated. Now, I shared this with you because although we were not minimalist growing up, the idea of scheduling family cleaning days was an easy way to get everyone on board and working towards the same goal. So, in the context of this conversation, we can apply this idea to decluttering and schedule family decluttering events. Now, these events don't have to be an all-day thing, and they're not meant to overwhelm those in your family. But if you're looking to get everyone involved and making decisions together, then scheduling time to do this activity as a family is an easy way to do that. Create your own space. Maintaining a clutter-free home when you have a family or share your space with a spouse is not impossible. It's just going to take a bit of creativity and extra effort. But as you're working to find a solution that works best for you and your family, it's still a good idea to create your own space. Think of it as clutter-free and clutter-safe zones, an idea that I highlighted in a previous conversation that I'll link to below. If you're sharing a space with someone, your partner, a roommate, a relative, then this is for you. See, we all need space to keep and store our things, but setting boundaries around where you can and cannot leave things to pile up can help control clutter, especially if the both of you, or however many of you share the same space, don't see eye to eye on minimalist living. Great places to establish as clutter-free zones are commonly shared areas, like the kitchen, the living room, and a shared bedroom if that applies to you. Now, on the other hand, establishing clutter-safe zones are equally important if you're sharing the same space with someone. Clutter-safe zones are places where you and the other person can keep their personal belongings as tidy or as messy as you would like in a way that doesn't affect the other person or cause unnecessary stress. See, having your own space allows you to de-stress and to clear your mind. Not having an opportunity to do this may result in a short temper, impatience, frustration, and stress. Emotions that don't blend well with the communication, something we've already established as a must-have in order to get your family on board with decluttering. So if you don't already have a space of your own, create one. Also give those you live with their own space as well. This will definitely help you maintain effective communication around decluttering and anything else that comes up. Be fair and show grace. No matter how much we love our family or how hard we try to get them on board with decluttering, our family members are going to have views and opinions that may differ from ours. That's just the nature of the game. We're all different with individual personalities, and because of that, clutter is going to affect us differently as well. So nagging at each other and getting frustrated will only make things worse. The best thing you could do, especially in moments of disagreement, is show grace. Not only will your family appreciate your patience and understanding, but you'll be grateful you did as well because it'll save you from wasting time arguing in circles over stuff and things. It's also important to mention that you remain fair and neutral throughout this entire process. What do I mean by that? Well, if you gave yourself permission to keep something that you weren't quite ready to let go of, then don't beat up your family for doing the same thing. If it's okay for you, then it's okay for them. Remember, the goal is to encourage your family to make the decision to let go on their own, not force them to because you think they should. Just keep working on you, and as you do, your family will start to move closer and closer to where you want them to be. I can't promise that they'll become a minimalist, but who knows, it just might surprise you. If you enjoyed this conversation, comment below and let me know. Also, question of the day, is your family on board with decluttering and living with less? If not, why do you think that is? Keep growing, keep learning, and always stay true to you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.